Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about narcissists and karma. A lot of people have been asking me about this, and I've actually took quite some time to really just think about that and see what I could research and find out about it. Because, it's quite natural for everything that they have done to us. We want to see them have some type of repercussion for it. We want, some of us are even feeling revengeful towards them. That's another video. But yes, we want them to pay a price. We want them to hurt and to suffer, to feel what we're feeling. We want them to go through something. We want to feel like justice has been served. So, I've thought about this for a few weeks now as far as the karma goes, and I actually, on a personal level, I thought about all the narcissists that I knew and what was going on in their life now compared to when I first met them and so forth. And especially after my run-ins with them and after the things that they've done to me. And I gotta tell you, none of them are doing well. None of them are doing well. And I'm talking about family members. I'm talking about ex-boyfriends and, former friends, people I thought were friends and they weren't. They're not doing so well. Mm-mm. There's terminal illness going on with some of them. A lot of, that dark cloud that I said follows them. Is always something going on in their lives. Yeah. And I even had one just even literally disclose to me, this person was a family member and they really, really devastated me. I won't go into specifics, but yeah, they really stabbed me in the back. And, they tried for some time to reconnect with me, and I was very resistant about it. But I eventually gave in with a wooden stick. But they, let me know some of the things that have been going on in their life since, they betrayed me. And oh my gosh, whew, they almost lost their life, actually. The person almost lost their life. And they went through a lot of pain and suffering after their offense towards me. I'm not, saying that it was because of what they did to me, but I certainly feel definitely like justice was served in that particular incident. I was like, wow, like when this, and I was really surprised that they were telling me all of this stuff that had occurred, with them. But I'm like, whoa, like, it's wow. But either way, as far as the narcissist and karma, the one thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is, and I've said this in another video, is that the narcissist is actually living in their bad karma every day of their life. Because you have to think about how their illness is set up. This person wants to be accepted. They want to be loved, and they're trying their whole life to find this person that will love their false self that's trying to protect their real self. So imagine spending your whole life pretending to be something that you're not. And the only time you have rest is when you're sleeping. But every waking moment of your life, you're up trying to pretend to be something you're not. You're trying to manipulate, lie, steal, and cheat from everyone that crosses your path, all just to protect this vulnerable person deep down inside of you that has low self-esteem and doesn't feel worthy of anything. Like, they're mind-fucking themselves every day of their lives. It's like a mental torment. And it should be exhausting. I could imagine that would be very exhausting. And for all the energy that they have to put into finding another supply all the time. And then when they have all these supplies, managing all these supplies. Like, that's just flat out exhausting. Granted, they're choosing this, and I'm not saying this to draw any sympathy for them at all, but I'm just saying the way that they lead their life is exhausting. And that's why when I look at all of the narcissists I know, they look worn out as they get older, tired, weary, and rightfully so. Look at how they lead their lives. As a matter of fact, I looked at my last narcissist, and oh my gosh, you know, he looks soulless. Like, he just looks like an empty shell. When I look into his eyes, he literally looks crazy. He looks crazy and he looks empty. I see no happiness. I see no joy. That person is not happy in life. Because here's another thing about their karma. They sabotage any good thing that comes their way. They sabotage it. Just look what they did to us. We were good people that came into their life that actually genuinely cared for them, genuinely and sincerely wanted to help their behinds. And what did they do? Everything they could to disrespect the situation. They chased any good thing in their life away from them. So part of their karma is they'll never have a good person in their life for long. And the people that do stay with them for extended periods are unhealthy people. They're unhealthy people. And I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings that's listening to this that actually stayed with a narcissist for an extended amount of time. But now that you're out of that situation, I'm sure that you can see where you were very unhealthy during that time in your life. During that season, you were unhealthy. So they're just with another unhealthy person. Anyone that's tolerating them for an extended amount of time, that's unhealthy. There's no real love going on there. Two unhealthy people playing out their dysfunctions between each other. They're just jumping off of each other. Okay? Because the dysfunctions typically complement each other, where one person is a giver and one person is a taker. So, we feel devastated because we're feeling our karma right away because we're in it. We're trying to heal from what has happened between us and the narcissist. So, we're picking up our feelings and our heart that might have got shattered into pieces, and we're realizing all the illusions and we're doing the work, but we're facing our karma right away. And that's actually a good thing because you can face it and go ahead and deal with that and then move forward and you're good. But the narcissist is just constantly creating more and more situations. And, what might start out as a happy feeling, what they're getting in the love bomb phase, it always ends in some type of devastation. For definitely always for the narcissist, because they're always taking that loss. And then they have the memories of what the other person is bringing into the situation. And I'm not saying that that's heavily on their mind because they didn't care about you, but, they still remember these messed up situations. But yeah, they sabotage their life. They spend their whole life sabotaging anything good that crosses their path. It's like they can't even help it but to do that. They can't help it but to do that. They feel so unlovable and so unworthy that they'll find a reason to subconsciously, I believe is so deeply ingrained into them that it's become subconsciously. They're doing these things like a robot because they can't reciprocate. They can't receive love, and they definitely can't reciprocate it. And if they're getting that their way, they're going to deflect it. They're going to deflect it. It's not going to be able to stick to them. All right. So from where I'm looking It never works out well for these narcissists. Mm-mm. Even if it seems like they want a battle, they always lose the war. They always lose the war, guys. Don't ever feel like this narcissist has, excuse my French, fucked you over and now their life is peachy good. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You don't always, the thing about karma is you don't always get the front row seat. You don't always get to see it. But know that it's happening. How can all these fruitful things come to a person who builds everything on sand? A simple wave can come and knock everything the narcissist does down. There's nothing to hold that sandcastle up. It's always going to get knocked down and stepped on. It's just they're never planting or watering positive seeds. They're always doing some shit they're not supposed to be doing. So it's gonna come back around to them. I know it's not always our perception because they always seem to find another warm body to save them and rescue them in a certain sense. But are they really being saved and rescued, guys? Are they really being saved and rescued? They're still stuck in their illness and they're just manipulating yet another person. So they actually weren't saved or rescued. They're just continuing the cycle, continuing the pattern. Spending their whole life continuing that vicious cycle. I wonder when they die, is God or someone there to just show them look at what you did. Look at how sick you were. This is what you spent your whole life doing. Lying, stealing, and manipulating people. Your whole life. That's horrible karma right there in itself, guys. They're never as fruitful as they appear to be. And anything that they have is always temporary. And it'll leave just as quick as they got it. And any long-term relationships that they seem to be successful in is with another unhealthy person. That's all that is. That's all it is, guys. Karma, from where I can see, is not good to narcissists at all. As they get older, you can just see it. The life is just further and further sucked out of them. They live hard lives because they're always in the middle of a trauma, creating one, ending one, starting another one, in the height of one, and they deal with so many people. It's just more and more negative energy piling up on them. And then they never know what real happiness is. They live their whole life without happiness. Just remember this. Hurt people hurt people. A hurt person has no other options but to really hurt other people. Because people can't give what they don't have. So if the narcissist is giving you all this toxic, poisonous mess, can you imagine what's inside of them? Because this is what's coming out of them. People can't give what they don't have. So that's all they had to give. And that's all they had to give everybody. Lies, games, manipulation. That's what they're giving themselves. Lies, games, manipulations. They're psyching themselves out. So karma, they live their karma every waking moment of their life. When they're presenting this false person, they can't even be their real selves. Every day that they're up. So, maybe this isn't good enough for some people. You want more. But, I've spent time thinking about that too, guys. Because I've had some pretty intense situations with several narcissists. And It's like, what's justice really look like? And if I get that justice, how will I feel a second later? And I really thought about it. I really sat there and I thought about it. I was like, okay, like in the one instance where the narcissist raped me, I said, okay, what if this narcissist got the death penalty for that? And I watched it. How would I feel after that narcissist took their last death and whatever they were punished, sentenced to, whatever the death was? How would I feel right after that? Would I still have to make my peace with what already happened? Would it change my healing journey? Would it suddenly lift all this stuff off of me, or would I still have the emotional parts to heal from, and now the image of that? I came to that conclusion. I was like, well, that person losing their life, that person going to jail for 50 years or something, it wouldn't change my hurt. I wouldn't feel like, okay, while I'm watching the judge sentenced to 50 years, okay, he's gone to jail, then I still have to pick up these same pieces. I still have to deal with my emotions. I still have to deal with my pain. So, we want this revenge, and I'm going to tell you, if you get what you think will bring you this quote unquote justice, you will find that it won't give you the kind of justice that you're really looking for, and that's the peace of mind. Because, that's what we want. We want our peace back, really. That's what we want, first and foremost. But, you might be like, no, Lakia, I want to see this person in pain. I want them to suffer and do. Okay. But it's not going to change what you still have to work on with yourself. So, they get their karma. They getting it one way or another. When they open their eyes and they have to remember to hide their false self for the whole day, this is their karma. This is their karma. It's crazy. It's almost like a person that gets up each day and jumps off of a cliff that's 300 feet in the air down into the cement. Someone scrapes them up. They walk back up the mountain and jump off the cliff again every day. And it's like, are you kidding me? Why would you keep doing this? Because it hasn't killed them completely yet. But they're dying a little bit each day. So I hope that this, helps someone at least begin to look at this whole thing with karma. To me, that's just, it's abstract. And when I say abstract, it means that it's very subjective, because everything isn't so black and white or left and right. I have a gray mind. I always said this, even when I was in high school. I have a gray mind, and it allows me to see angles. It's not always just yes or no. So karma is going to be subjective, really, when it comes to that point, because what might seem like karma to you may not be to the next person. So, I hope this is helping someone in some type of way. But as usual, we're just sitting down and we're talking, we're having some tea. And those are my thoughts for now on how I view this karma with a narcissist. All right. Talk to you guys later.